Welcome to T-Set Pass, my weekly Yu-Gi-Oh podcast where I talk to you guys about the game we all love. This week I'm joined by my good friend Dr. Soma, also known as Ghost Galaxy Cosplay, on his previous TikTok account, which is no longer with us, sadly. He rose to the high heights of 70,000 followers watching his Yu-Gi-Oh content before trolls attacked and got his old account banned. He's back up to 10k now as of recording this introduction, but when we recorded this conversation, he was down at 7. That just shows how fast he's growing. He's written a Yu-Gi-Oh fan book on Wattpad, which is very fun. I've been reading through. It's got lots of characters you'd recognize from the GX anime. Atticus, Kaiba, Pegasus is mentioned heavily. I think my favorite part is the fact that he puts decklist links in the story. It means that you as a Yu-Gi-Oh player can have a go with the cards that he's talking about, and he runs through them pretty well. The duels are fairly well depicted in terms of accuracy. It's nice to see his character go through an arc, and I'm interested to see where it's going to go next. Chapter 10 should be releasing this week. I'll pop a link to that in the chat below. According to some random emails from podcast statistics sites, I have the #1 anime manga podcast in Spain, of all places. While I am hesitant to believe that that means anything in particular, it's fun, and if you're listening from Spain, I hope you're enjoying the podcast. Let me know why you're listening to some English person talk about a card game. I have been reading your poll results, and I have been reading the comments and reviews that you've left me, and it means a lot to me that any of you have bothered at all. I wanted to say thank you Alexandre and Mia for commenting on the first episode. I chose Morphtronics as my favourite deck because they were the first deck in the 5Ds era that I really put a lot of time in, and it was great to learn how to synchro summon properly. They're really good at churning out level 7s. And Alexandra, I do plan to cover a little bit of everything like you asked for on the podcast, and that's why we have a wide variety of guests with different backgrounds. Xavian, it would be cool if we talked about the upcoming ban list, and when it eventually comes out, I will be talking about it, and we'll be making a video of it on my TikTok account. I have done a video, as of this week, I've finished entirely. I've made 50 episodes covering every single card in the Yu-Gi-Oh ban list, explaining why it was banned, and collecting it in my folder. So I now have a full folder with the entire Yu-Gi-Oh ban list on. And Mr. Bourne, we have talked regularly about what I think the game will be like in the future, with both Sladra and with my friend Abyss. That was all of the Spotify comments, but moving over to YouTube, Fire Rhino thinks that Yu-Gi-Oh needs to be shown in more places, the anime-wise. I don't know. I think most of it's available on the Yu-Gi-Oh website, and most of it's available on the official YouTube channel, so there's not that many problems in terms of finding Yu-Gi-Oh. I do think we need a new anime soon for the West. That's definitely something we need. A big thank you for Matt Howlett for regularly enjoying the podcast. And thank you Venture Tower Gaming and Mandy for enjoying the podcast so far. Every week now, I will read the comments aloud and respond to them in a section at the end of the podcast. So if you want me to talk directly to you, then please leave some comments either on Spotify or on YouTube. I did get some reviews on Apple Podcasts, and they questioned the quality of the audio of some of my guests. Sadly, I cannot control the quality of the microphone that my guests have. I edit the audio as much as I can, and you should hear it before the edit sometimes, but my guests have what they have. But, always looking to improve, so thank you for that feedback. And thank you to Windracer for your positive 5-star review. If anyone here can please give a 5-star review, it would really help on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and if you can like and share on YouTube, it would be amazing. Without further ado, let's get into our chat with Dr. Soma, and we'll be going through the poll results with him later on. So just tell me a little bit, how did you, Ghost, get into Yu-Gi-Oh? And then how did you go from getting into Yu-Gi-Oh to getting into Yu-Gi-Oh on TikTok?
So, I was first introduced to the Yu-Gi-Oh card game back in 2014, 2015. And back then I was a major Pokemon bias. Like anything Pokemon, it was my thing. Anything that wasn't Pokemon, it was either something incredibly you'd expect a British person to be interested in that, or something that you just wouldn't expect, Pokemon, Harry Potter, and Star Wars. Those were
the British trifecta of Star Wars and Harry Potter and an anime of choice.
Yeah. So my foster brother at the time introduced me and my older brother to the Yu-Gi-Oh trading card game using cards from the 2010 era, because he didn't play anything past Synchro.
Yeah.
And I found it really boring at first. Despite having memories of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime being watched on TV, but you know, back then it was like 2004, 2005, and something like that. So I wasn't old enough to remember like everything.
How old did you say this was when you started playing? So you're playing with 2010 cards. What's this, like 2016?
No, not 2016. Probably 2015.
2015. Okay. So Pendulum Era's just sort of begun in real Yu-Gi-Oh at that point, all right? Around that time?
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't have any of those cards.
No.
Then we started watching Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the best way for me to transition from Pokemon into Yu-Gi-Oh! With how upbeat GX was. I was in secondary school at the time, so it was relatable.
Mm-hmm.
And Elemental Heroes, dude.
They slap. There's a reason that I'm collecting them. They're so cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that you think they're cool too. Because sometimes I wonder, do I like these because I was like, 6 when they came out? And it's good to know that new people can find them cool as well. It gives me some validation as to my tastes.
Yeah. And then Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links as well was a good way for me to actually get into the game when it was, first out.
Yeah, right at the start when it was like new and hot and everybody was on it.
Yeah. Then about another year later, so probably year 9, so I would have been 14, 15.
Mm-hmm.
I started buying my own packs.
Yeah.
I think XCs were still quite prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember pulling a few XCs monsters and my first number card, which was number 66, Master Key Beetle.
That's a good one. I can picture the kind of time, because that's when Master Key Beetle had the common print, wasn't it? And
yes.
So everybody had a copy, and even I think I had like a load of Master Key Beetles. It's such a... I think that was probably one of the times when I got back into number hunting, because they were starting to print numbers at common instead of them all being some more expensive cards.
Yeah, and for a long time that was my favorite card. Like,
it's a good card to like. It's got a good attack. It's got good easy summoning condition, and it has a protection effect. So I would not be mean about number 66 being someone's favorite card. It's a fun one.
Yeah, and then we bought a few packs, a few decks with the limited money that we were given, because you know how British mothers are with pocket money.
Hey, we've all been there, haven't we?
Yeah. And then probably 2017 to 2019. So Link era.
Link. Yeah. Tail end of Link era, because Link started in 2017, so sort of near the back end of Link.
Yeah. We would go to a local model shop in our town, and they would have a selection of Yu-Gi-Oh packs, and we get the cheapest one. They were packs of 3, and they I don't remember what they were called, but they have like a starry foil printing.
They were either called battle packs or star foil packs. I know what you mean. They came with 3 cards a pack, and they were all star foil. And there was some really cool reprints, stuff like Jinzo. I have a star foil from that pack that you're talking about. But there's also like a bunch of trashy ones as well in the star foil. It was like a real 50-50 of like a good card or a terrible card.
Yeah. So the packs that we bought had 2 commons and 1 star foil. At one time I had like 5 Goki rematches.
Hey, Goki rematches slaps. I love Goki.
And then I started pulling the Trickstar cards.
So this is where the infection took hold of your brain. The brain rot of burn for 200.
Yeah. So I started collecting the Trickstar cards and got a significant amount of the main core. Got 1 Lycanus, 3 Lilybell, I believe 2 Narcissus, 2 light stage, and 1 Candina.
That's sick. I remember when I saw the Trick Stars in those battle packs, and I was like, I don't really want to play Trick Stars, but they are very good. I'm gonna buy them at this Starfill rarity, and then I just didn't. And then I've regretted it ever since, because those prices just go up and up and up and up for Candina, especially. Like,
Yep.
I don't know what she is right now.
She's like £5 for even a common.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not going to be for the ultra, is it? Not the ultra, the ultra.
No.
Ultra. Not going to be that for the ultra rare. It's going to be that for the common. And that's painful. But it's good. It's a real good card.
It is. Yeah, I need 2 more copies as well to complete the deck.
I think we'll be getting new Trick Stars. You know, I've been thinking about it. Obviously, we've had the element packs like water, fire, wind, and earth. Dark and light are the only ones left, I believe. Like we're obviously we're getting fire this year with volcanic and salamangre and battle and boxer.
Mm-hmm.
Light and dark are the only ones left. There's not that many iconic light and dark specific archetypes, I don't think, from the anime. Dark, you can just fill it with all the villains, but light, I can't think of that many. Maybe Arcana Force, because we are getting a new Arcana Force Doom. But I feel like if they made one of the 3 a gamble deck, people would not buy it. You know what I mean? Like, people would not buy it for Arcana Force.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking Melodious, Trickstar, and another light type. I'm trying to think of ones that people would actually want to play and that could get done. Maybe Lunar Light, Melodious, and Trickstar.
Yeah, I think they would get a lot of sales with that, because Melodious is a good one. Lunar Lights are just awesome, and Trickstars are, you know.
Lunar Light have some light cards. I think they're mostly dark though, so they probably wouldn't make it in the light pack. But I think Melodious and Trickstars are probably fairly safe guesses for the light pack. And that would mean that they would get some new cards, and I think that would probably take them back. Because Trickstar feel very good still. You know what I mean? Then obviously they're not top meta, but they can do so much burn. They've got some attack boosting and protection as well with Holy Angel.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of stuff going for them. They just need like they just need a Trickstar Access Code Talker of that kind of big boss final push card, and I think they would be a lot better. And I could see that coming really soon.
Yeah. So I started getting the Trickstar cards and building my deck around them. Now, at the time, I was still learning.
Yeah.
And when I read that Trickstar Lilybell could attack directly, I thought that worked like Super Heavy Samurai's did. That she could attack
in defense mode. With what, 2k defense? That'd be crazy.
With 8k attack.
Oh.
So I would have Lilybell in defense and just be like, yeah, she can attack you directly.
Hey, if you've gone after that submarine word strat.
Yeah. But then, you know,
you learn.
Like, I learned. And
now here you are today, the pro that you are. So okay, so you started with your foster brother. You got better. You went from 2010 scraps to over to Trickstar New Hotness. How do you get on the TikTok? So the TikTok, it was called Ghost Galaxy Cosplay. Did you start with cosplay first and then move into Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh god, the history of that TikTok account, bro. It went from British Todoroki to Ghost Galaxy Cosplay. And then stuck with Ghost Galaxy Cosplay.
I think British Todoroki maybe is more accurate of you. It's like that proper Brit spirit in the cosplay circuit. But there we go. Ghost Galaxy does have a nice ring to it.
Yeah. And yeah, it was a lot of cosplay for a long time. There were times when I wanted to do Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, but I didn't have the money to get a dual disc.
No.
But then I think I was just scrolling on TikTok one night, and I came across Max's live or a video with Mobron. I can't remember which.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, this is interesting. I want to do this. This will give me an excuse to play Yu-Gi-Oh without going to locals.
Yeah. Because locals you have to pay. It's not like you go for fun. Well, you go for fun, but you have to pay for the pleasure.
Yeah. So I ended up joining the Discord server and learning the rules. For a long time, I've been playing Machina. The first time I went to locals, I was playing the Zombie World structure deck that has the Red Eyes Zombie Necro Dragon in it.
The original one, yeah.
No, not the original
one.
Oh,
the revamped one.
The revamped one, yeah. And I got absolutely smoked.
I think that's the best experience, though, because it's the make or break. You get your bad deck, you go to locals, and you will get destroyed. And the question is then, I got destroyed. Do I put this deck away and never play again, or do I get good? And I think that's like that's the time. I went to locals, my first locals. I was against a guy playing Gladiator Beasts. He destroyed me, and then I was like, "Damn, I never want to go to locals again." That was as a kid. It took me until very recently to start going to physical events again, and that's mainly just because I'm an adult in a city. I've got a Thursday night to fill. Why not go to locals? You know what I mean? But until then, as a kid, that really put me off competing more.
Yeah,
because it's a big learning curve.
It is, yeah, definitely. And then it was like choosing which structure deck to get, and the cheapest one at my locals was Machina.
Good one.
It was £7 per deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I managed to get 3.
Nice. Citadel's a big nasty card.
It is. It took about a month, I think, to learn the deck.
Yeah.
And find the best pure Machina build. Also took a while to get all the extra deck pieces that I might need.
Yeah. But you got
there.
And now you're doing well.
I got there.
And you're still on that Machina grind. Obviously, you've teched in some new hotness, like branded, but you are on the Machina Metal Crunch, and that's all you need.
Yeah, definitely.
In terms, do you still enjoy playing physically? Obviously, I know you did the TikTok instead of going locals quite as much. Do you prefer playing live, or do you prefer playing in person?
Oh yeah, I much prefer playing on live.
Mm-hmm.
I can just go all out.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun. Like when I play against you and people ask for the jacket, like
bring us the jacket.
Like literally,
the jacket. The fans need it.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just the joy of being able to put on the show and just really enjoy playing the game rather than listening to a flu player go normal summon this, activate this, normal summon this and this and this, then you can't do this, and it's like, dude, be gone. And then you don't have to deal with branded players slapping down their Tax Dragon and the Mirror Jade and whatever else they can fuse into these days. Let's see what else. One thing I do like about locals is one of our players plays Dragon Link.
Okay.
And
I like Dragon Link.
Dragon Link is so much fun. It's annoying with the all the negates that they have, but it's so much fun.
I love Dragon Link. It's a shame that it's not more meta right now, but I think it will come back. Like, that's the thing with Dragon will always come back eventually.
Yeah.
Like, they will print a Dragon that's crazy, and then everyone will be on it until they print something that's better.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely prefer playing live. It just allows me to be more
yourself.
Yeah. I'm not limited to being boring, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The constraints of being in a room with people who have all paid to be there in a professional tournament, and some people want to focus, that kind of thing. You can go crazy. That's the best part. I was going to say, you have been so cool in the last few weeks. For those who do not know, Soma has original account has been removed from TikTok just after going past the 70k milestone.
Yeah.
We're rebuilding again, and I think as of this minute Ross recording, we're about nearly 8,000 or just over 8,000? Just under?
I can check.
It was over 7,000. Whatever
Yeah.
it was over 7,000 last time we checked. You have not let it crush you, man. And if I can imagine that if I woke up and my 70k account was gone, I will maybe be done with TikTok. But you have you have got on the grind. We have been starting a new, on that new account, Hotness. We're going at it, live, build it. And we are like, you're growing at an insane rate. It would be nice if TikTok can give us back the old one. But it's such an impressive feat that you have not let it destroy your spirit, and you've not let it affect the lives and the games and the fun that you bring to people.
Yeah. Did I put 2 years worth of work into that 70k TikTok account? Yes. Did I stress about losing it when it first got banned? Yes. Did I let it get me down? No. I said, are you okay with me swearing?
Yeah, you can swear.
I said, TikTok. I'm not done. I'm gonna come right back, and we're gonna be better than ever. 2 years worth of experience, and we're just gonna do it again.
We're gonna do it. And you think about it, you grew in a big spike recently. You know what I mean? Like, time-wise, it's not taken 2 years to get to 70k. It took a year to get to 16k, and then it took about half a year to get to 70. We can do that.
Yeah.
We're better than we were before. We're stronger. We know the algorithm. We know what we're doing. We know how to put on a show. We know that we've got some good decks. The format's ripe for it, and we're gonna kill it.
Speaking of good decks, whenever I play something on live that's not Shadow Trickstar, viewers seem to fluctuate quite a bit.
Really? On the decks specifically?
Yeah. So when I bring out Shadow Trickstar, I think I get my highest amount of views. Maybe because it's the Trickstars, or maybe it's because they know the jacket's coming, the drip's coming.
The jacket, the drip help. The drip does help.
We're gonna win most of the time.
Yeah.
Unless I'm facing Max and his stupid Blue Eyes White Dragons and Dark Magicians and anything else that shouldn't be able to beat my deck but seems to either way.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. No. 100%. I love the Trickstars, and I know I don't. I hate fighting them, but I love that you. I love that you got that signature. I love that you got that deck that nobody else is really on.
Yeah. Yeah, when I first made Shadow Trickstar, it was a deck that it just kind of came to mind. I didn't expect it to work as well as it does.
Become your signature.
Yeah. So it's a really fun deck to play, and
yeah.
I'll finalize the deck list for you for when you upload this episode, and you can put it in the description so that people can see exactly what I play in this recipe of destruction.
Brilliant. Before we wrap up for today, because we do have to go live, we have promised people. However, I want to check. What's your... I've got all the polls. We've been running polls all the episodes so far. And I want to just run through the poll questions and get your answers. And we can see whether you agree with the population. So, question number 1. Are you ready, Ghost?
I am ready.
What's your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh anime?
Oh, GX all the way through.
And the voters have agreed with you in a joint vote. We had 23% voting for GX and 23% also voting for Zexal, beating everything else. So that's fun. Nobody voted for 7s, sadly, but I haven't even finished 7s, so can't even quote. Question 2. Do you think Yu-Gi-Oh is in a healthy state right now as a game? Yes or no?
Currently, It's
This minute, today.
It's 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say it's hard to say yes or no. And we're just gonna have to wait until the ban list drops, whenever that might be.
Fingers crossed soon. The vote said 80% said yes, they think it's healthy, and 20% think no, it is not healthy. Question 3 is just a personal one. It's, do they prefer me alone or with guests? And what do you think? Do you prefer the podcast when I'm on my own or when I have people on?
I honestly like both, but I like the guest ones as well.
Yeah, 60% want guests and 30% want me. And then, who do you prefer from the original series? Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, or Red Eyes?
Blue Eyes.
25% of the vote went with you on Blue Eyes, but however, 60% wanted the Dark Magician, and only one little 12.5% wanted Red Eyes Blackjack.
Where's that half human?
There we go, I know. And the final question, which is in a 50-50 right now from my last week's podcast. Would you watch a Yu-Gi-Oh anime which was just about the characters from the cards, not playing Yu-Gi-Oh but as a story? Or do you need them to be playing the card game for you to be interested?
What are we talking?
So let's say there was an anime of the Albaz storyline as characters doing an anime adventure, but they're not talking about Yu-Gi-Oh at all. There's no card game element. It's just like the actual lore of the game, rather than the card game of the game.
Yes, I would watch that. I'm mutuals with this one person on TikTok who researches the lore for cards and makes stories out of them. And he's really good at it.
Yeah.
Like he did lore for the 5 vanilla elemental heroes.
Yeah.
And it was so good.
Nice.
So yeah.
So what, he writes original lore, or he just writes the actual lore that's there?
I think it's the actual lore that's there,
but
the way they puts it into a story, it's just so good. So yeah, if Konami made an anime about monster lore, like, it would have to be an interesting archetype.
Well, maybe they could do like Tales of the Yu-Gi-Oh world, and it's just like an episode's about a different group, you know, or you could do like a proper heavy thing, which is all on Albaz, or all on like the World Legacy story, or, you know, that kind of the stuff that already has like a beginning, middle, and end point that we know.
Yeah. It definitely would be an interesting thing to watch, and it would definitely, I think, add to maybe monster spirits. That's something I need to work on in my book, especially.
Yeah. 100%. And we'll link your Wattpad book in the podcast description and in the YouTube description of the video. I was just going to say, before we wrap up, what question do you want me to put as the poll question for this week, Ghost? You get to choose.
Who's your favorite rival?
Favorite rival. There we go. Done. That'll be this week's poll question. Let us know, who is your favorite rival? And yeah, thank you so much for coming on, Ghost. Well, you'll be back again for sure. But
thanks a lot.
That's all right. Lovely having you. Until next time, bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening. Let me know if you have any feedback for the podcast. Leave it as a review and I will read it aloud next episode. Apparently the Brit is fine, according to GMW6666, and I'm going to take that as a positive and move on with my life. Thank you so much. Until next week, have a lovely day.